showed you. Okay, so today we're gonna make an apple pie. So we're gonna start with flour and sugar. We're gonna add some cold butter, 3 sticks of cold butter, 2 egg yolks in milk. Now we're gonna use our pie cutter and squish all that together until it forms dough. You need the butter to be really cold so your dough will be nice and firm. Now when you get to this consistency, you can't use the pie cutter anymore because it'll get too thick. So we're gonna work it with our hands. We're gonna turn it into a ball. So just get your hands in now. Just mix until everything comes together into a ball. Okay, so you see this? It's all coming together. Now what we're gonna do, press it together because we want it to be nice and easy for us to roll it later. Now we're gonna wrap this in plastic wrap and put it into the fridge for about 20-30 minutes, just enough for us to work and roll it. Okay. So now we're gonna put this in the fridge and let it cool off. While that's cooling off, let's start with our apple cutting slices and our butter mixture. I'm gonna cook it on the stove, make it nice and creamy. So now for our apples, normally apple pie is green apples, Granny Smith's, but we're gonna do some half sour apples and half, either you can do red apples, Gala apples, Fiji apples, whatever you want, something sweet. Normally 4 large, but I didn't find any large. That way it can give it a nice sweet and sour flavor. It's really complimentary, really delicious. So let's peel our apples. So now we're gonna cut these apples thinly sliced, but not super thin. So just enough, you know, for them to cook and be nice and pretty. Because if they are too thick, when the pie is baked off, it'll be raw apples. You don't want raw, chunky apples. No. So now that our apples are nice and sliced, we're gonna add 1 and a half spoon of cinnamon. And we're gonna give this a little mix. And we're gonna leave it for it to marinate the apple juices with the cinnamon. And we're not gonna add lemon juice, just like most recipes will say, because our buttery sugar mixture is gonna do all that work on its own. So while this is marinating cinnamon, we're gonna work on our sauce. So let's go this way. So what we're gonna do is melt 1 stick of butter. This will take a few minutes depending on how high you have your flame. Now we don't want it to burn. That's really important. You don't want the butter to burn. No. Just keep watch, stir it. So now that your butter is nice and melted, we're gonna add flour. But remember, this is a sauce. We stir it until it's nice combined. You don't want it to burn, like I said before. You want it to be like a nice thick paste. See how it's getting there? Nice thick paste. Once that's happening, we're gonna add our water. Keep stirring that. And our sugar. the sugar is well incorporated into the sauce, we're gonna keep heating it for 3 minutes. Just keep stirring it. You want it to get thick. You don't want any sugar clumps. You want it to be nice, smooth, and creamy. So just keep stirring it. So you see how it's thickening up? Little by little. Just keep stirring it. Let it boil. After this happens, go into low heat and stir it for a few more. We want it to cool down. After it stops bubbling, we turn off the heat and let it rest so it can get thicker. So we'll just put it aside and then we'll get to our pie crust. Okay, so now we're gonna take our dough out of the fridge. We're gonna lightly dust our surface. This helps rolling it. So no, it doesn't matter if it leaves edges on the side, it's fine because we're going to cover it with the other pie crust. Okay, so now we're going to bring our apples and our mixture. I'm going to pour it over it. Give this a stir. Oh, look at that. This is what's going to make your pie so delicious. Adding that extra touch makes a big difference. Now we're gonna pour this into our pie and get all the sauce in there. All of it. You don't want to leave anything behind. Okay. You don't want to leave it empty. Now we're gonna work on our top crust. Now for this one, you can either keep it a circle, just cover the whole surface, or you can get strips out of this to make it more pretty. I'm gonna make strips. You have to crisscross back and forth to get this nice kneaded look. See, I'm already confused here. See? One over, one under, one over, one under. It's what you want to do. You may have to do these a couple tries. It's worth it, but it's worth it. It's gonna give you a pretty presentation. So just keep at it. Okay, so now we just cut off. You can use a knife or you can use your hands. Either one is okay. All around the pie to get all that extra dough off. Okay, so now we have our egg wash. So we're just gonna brush the top of the crust to give it that nice golden look. Every strand. Don't leave a space or else it won't give you that golden color. Now we're gonna add this to our oven at 450 degrees for 15 minutes. Then after it's cooked for 15 minutes, we're gonna lower the temperature and then cook it for 45 minutes. So now we're gonna take our pie out of the oven. Look at that golden brown. Okay, so we're gonna let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes and then it's good to eat. Okay, so now we're gonna cut our slice of pie. Has that nice flaky crust that you heard it crackle, and the cinnamon sauce is so delicious. It's not too sweet. So good. Thanks for watching and follow me.